And welcome to the show. What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a wonderful night and not having missiles rain down on them. So, the U.S. and Iran is slinging again. We got them slinging. And Trump is calling them love taps. While Iran is basically slinging missiles at U.S. warships. And we're sitting here just enjoying the show, right? Are we not having fun? U.S. airline fuel costs are skyrocketing. Total fuel cost scheduled for service. U.S. airlines jumped 1.8 billion to March, 56%. Also, this is crazy, and I'm supposed to go on two separate trips. I'm gonna have to cancel one, and I'm supposed to go to San Diego in mid-June, and this is crazy. This is so crazy. Don Lemon, and increasingly assuming like might actually be a Russian air defense missile impact. So this was in Russia, and then this is the U.S. Air defense systems current zero hedge. Air defense currently responding to missile threats. Please remain safe. Location remain safe. Always remain safe. All right. U.S. defense are currently dealing with missiles and drones attacks from Iran. And this is footage reportedly shows U.S. strikes targeting Iranian terrorist regime. Sure, blah, 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 blah. Their terrorist regime. Okay, well, who started it anyway? Let's get into a little conspiracy theory here, folks. So, my conspiracy is China and Russia are telling Iran keep this going. Because what this does is it keeps mud on the U.S.'s face, makes them a big disgrace. While it's a stalemate all over the place. But what it also does is it keeps the oil prices high. And by keeping the oil prices high, Russia makes more money and is probably selling to China at a discount. To basically, Russia gets to make more money to pay off the war that they have proxy war that they have fought for 4 years. So now it's the U.S.'s turn to get the money taken from them. But we're also making a crap ton of money because of the oil that we're selling. And it also shows that we need to supposedly take Cuba anymore, even more, and basically makes the Venezuelan thing look 10 times better. But my opinion, I think China and Russia want this to basically keep the oil prices high, and Iran loves this because the oil prices are not only are they getting their ships out and being able to sell more oil than they've ever been before, they're also able to sell it at a premium. So keep the U.S. wrapped up, keep those warships out there, costing billions and billions and billions of dollars, while Trump day in and day out is able to make excuses for his little excursion, and it's just gross. Lofty gasoline prices spiked, but electricity prices also soared. Here's a Wolf Street article. Prices of used EVs spike from already lofty levels as gasoline prices spike, but electricity prices soar because we don't have enough nuclear power plants, so we are still using natural gas and other fossil fuels to power. And on top of that, we're building out these stupid data centers that are going to need transformers that are in back order because the supply chain is still working on catching up on itself, and certain things it has, such as in the jet fuel market, which is nuts because people need to travel, people need to fly. It's the travel season, and a lot of the second world depends on the first world traveling. And the second world covers up for the third world. So second world needs the travel season bad. Bad. But we'll see. We'll see. New single-family home prices drop further amid inventory glut, but lower prices beget higher sales. Very true, but you're still catching a falling knife because You're buying an asset as it is depreciating. But the banks can't let the houses fall too much, or else everybody's going to be underwater and they're going to walk away. And it's going to just trickle down and crash the economy. But with this, it begets basically. I'm gonna basically say this in a YouTube short tomorrow, so I'm gonna hold off on it. But basically, we need to start looking at politicians like frontmen, basically. And I know how the U.S. only shows up every 2 to 4 years to actually vote and just raises their hand like, oh, this is who I want, this is who I want, and then they go back to sleep. They watch their little sports. They watch their little sports team and they have their little tribalism and they say, that's my team. And then they look at the ticket and says, if you're here after the lights go out, you're trespassing. You're just showing up to root for something that you have no part in, but it makes you feel better about yourself, I guess. I like baseball, I like football, but tribalism and sports, you should have tribalism for your country, not for sports. You should have tribalism for your neighborhood, not for someone hitting a baseball. But that's just my opinion, and it is the way it is. And then you have the rat virus and the vaccine supposedly already being made for it. And this, they want Trump to fail, but Trump is failing miserably himself, unfortunately. So the first term, we basically had COVID. Now this term, we have the war, and now he's stuck in it. And now they're trying to wheel out this Honda virus, however the hell you say it. Who cares anyway? It's probably going to burn itself out. Hopefully sooner rather than later. All right, let's see. Oh, we got a AI factories in motion. Break down and see a superhuman NVIDIA turnkey infrastructure can scale. Liquid cooled aired NVIDIA. Liquid cooled NVIDIA, brother. But yeah, they need the helium for these data centers, and they need all sorts of infrastructure built out. It's a $1 trillion nightmare that we're walking into. And unfortunately, all of the GDP growth is linked to the building of data centers right now. It's pretty nightmarish, isn't it? To like think that we're building something to replace our workforce, but the only GDP real growth is the building of the things that you're going to use to replace our workforce. But at the same time, if you don't have the best AI, you don't have the big stick. And we're walking around like we have the big stick, but we're getting slapped around with a medium stick in Iran right now, when we should just walk away. But the boomer news and all the warmongers want us to stay in there. They want to get that Iran, man. The Democrats and Republicans both want this. They both want this. They've been wanting it for decades, and they finally got it. But it is not working out. But it is working out because someone's making a lot of money on the ups and downs of the oil trade. And it's not the average American, because the average American tried to do that. It'd be insider trading. And you can't do insider trading unless you're in the club, right? You can be, part of the club and do insider trading all you want. So what is the club? You can think about that. But there's this website where you can follow the club's trades, though. You can follow all the political trades. Forget the website. I'm going to track it down. I sent it to my wife a few months ago. They were talking about it on Rogue News, and I sent it to her, but I haven't followed up. I'm going to go check it out myself, but I'll share it on my Twitter or whatever. And you guys can check it out. But I'm going to cut this video because 10 minutes is a good mark. Like and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment. Okay, bye.